A show of strength on a day of mourning. A Hezbollah leader killed in an Israeli airstrike last September was buried in Beirut. Tens of thousands of supporters of the militant terrorist group poured into the Lebanese capital. At the climax of the ceremony, Israeli planes flew over the heads of the mourners. This is a very clear forecast of developments in the Middle East. This was to be a demonstration of support for Islamic terrorists, the likes of which the world has not seen since the defeat of the Islamic State. Hezbollah, contrary to all rumours, has not disappeared, and although its structures have been significantly weakened, it still poses a credible threat to Israel. We will not surrender, and we will not stand by and accept the killing and occupation of our land. Nasrallah was killed in an Israeli airstrike on Beirut last September. Shortly thereafter, the Israeli military invaded southern Lebanon. Despite an announced ceasefire, fighting continues in the region. I suggest that Nasrallah's successor should not miscalculate Israel's resolve as his predecessors did, or he will pay a very high price. Israel sent a clear message to Hezbollah. Israeli bombers and fighter jets flew over the city during the funeral ceremonies in Beirut. Israel's show of force here sends a clear message. We are on, and since we have the full blessing of the White House, we will respond swiftly and aggressively. Tel Aviv is using similar measures in the West Bank, where for the first time in more than 2 decades, ground troops backed by tanks have entered. The military operation is aimed at eliminating Hamas militias. Our forces are moving deep into the refugee camps. They are destroying the terrorist infrastructure, eliminating the terrorists, and will remain there as long as it takes. Israel has the full support of the United States, which is becoming increasingly involved in the Middle East. President Donald Trump is considered a hero in Tel Aviv for having led to the signing of a ceasefire with Hamas and the release of hostages held by the terrorists for over a year.
We had the hostages given back today. It's disgraceful what's going on there. They're not in great shape, but we've also seen them in worse shape.
At the Republican CPAC conference, representatives of the Trump administration stressed that they would not rest until the last hostage was released. At the same time, a special resolution stated that Israel should have full sovereignty over the West Bank.